A child's brain is like a sponge. They need to learn as much as they can at a younger age in order to get better at a skill quickly. Learning two languages or more is beneficial for a child's language and brain development. English kindergarten is the best tool for a child to be exposed to a language in a playful and educational way, so they won't struggle later in life. So the first part I said, a child's brain is like a sponge. So if you think about a sponge, it absorbs water very quickly, but it's an expression we use in English that, a child is very young and they can learn a lot very quickly. So, people are debating, should we teach them two languages at once or three? People say yes, their brain is like a sponge. And then later I said it's beneficial for a child's language and brain development. So language development means your language gets better, but there's theories that if you learn a language at a young age, you will get smarter. It'll build your brain and make you better. So it also works for physical development. And then finally, I said they should learn the language in a playful and educational way so they won't struggle later in life. So to struggle, you can physically struggle, but you can also struggle with a language. That means you have a very hard time learning it. So it would be easier if they learned it earlier than struggle later. The more a young person is exposed to a foreign language, the better they will learn. It is a simple equation. The more they listen and speak at a younger age, the easier it'll be for them later on. English kindergarten is an invaluable method of introducing a language in a way kids will like. So I said, the more a young person is exposed to a foreign language. So to expose someone can mean a lot of different things. If they're watching English TV, if they're at an English kindergarten, if they're reading English books, that means the more they see and hear English, the more they are exposed. And then I said, it is a simple equation. So a simple equation is 2 + 2 = 4. Or if you want to lose weight, you've got to exercise and diet. It's just quite simple. So the equation is the more they listen and speak, the better they'll get. And finally, I said English kindergarten is an invaluable method of introducing a language. Invaluable means it has no value because it's worth so much. So, for example, if you saw a piece of art at a museum, we kind of call that priceless, but more of an experience of learning or doing something, it is invaluable later on because you can't put a value on it because you can do so much with it. There's no evidence that learning another language at a young age will help them later in life. Learning a second language may hurt and not help the child because they will not be able to master their first language. Children have other strengths besides language. These strengths must not be ignored. So I said the child, they will not be able to master their first language. So to master something can be used as a verb where you become perfect at something or you become very, very good at something. So you could master your skill at drawing, master a language, master a martial art, or master a way to do ceramics. But you become almost perfect or perfect at something. And finally, I said, these strengths must not be ignored. So you can ignore something, you could ignore sound, you could ignore the TV. But if your child is not good at English, but also very good at math, you might want to forget about English and not ignore math. And you got to focus on math because maybe they won't grow up and do a podcast like this. That's fine, but they could become a very good engineer and don't need to speak English. So you should focus on the math and should not ignore that strength. English as a second language is a complicated matter with young children. It has not been shown to improve a child's language skills as they age. It may, however, hinder their ability to get a good grasp of their mother tongue. Parents need to focus on what the child is good at and work on building those skills. So I said, however, it might hinder their ability to get a good grasp of their mother tongue. So to hinder is to hurt or to prevent someone from doing something. So learning two languages at once might hinder their ability to learn their first language. And I said, hinder their ability to get a good grasp of their mother tongue. So to grasp is to hold something with your hand or to grab something, but you can have a grasp of a language. For example, I have a good grasp of Spanish. It's not perfect. I would say it's intermediate, but I have trouble reading a financial newspaper. I have a good grasp of it. I can move around. I can negotiate. I'm conversational, but I don't have an excellent grasp of the language. So a grasp of the language means you are able to do it, but you have to put an adjective before it if it's bad, good, or excellent. Thanks, guys, and please stay in touch. Shoot me an email at feurey, and I hope you keep listening. Bye-bye.